Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
Chip chipperoo, everyone.
We are so glad y'all are here. We have a phenomenal episode with...
Phenomenal.
There you go. Full of so many moments.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
For you
Yeah.
today. But before we jump into this Mother's Day episode...
We've got some new Patreon subscribers to thank, and we have to burger pun their names. First up, thank you so much, Heather Noakes. Moving forward, you will be known as the Heath Herb Yolks Burger.
Yum.
Yes. Maybe like a breakfast burger. Doesn't have to be a breakfast burger.
I am there.
I love egg on my burger all the time.
I love all the herbs.
Joining Heather is Sydney Baker. Thank you so much, Sydney Baker. Moving forward, you will be known as the Squidney Steak Burger.
Wow.
A little surf and turf.
A little
burger.
surf and turf, which you seem drawn to as a pun master.
Look, there's lots of rhymes in the ocean and on the land, let me say.
There's plenty of puns in the sea.
Yeah. Thank you so much to the two of you for joining us on Patreon. We're so excited to have you, and we hope you enjoy your new names and that everyone will only address you by those names from now on.
Amen. I kind of feel like jumping into some burger puns.
You want to go right into burger puns?
Well, I don't know that you're doing burger puns this
We
week.
are doing burger puns this week, so very good.
Let's do it.
Okay. It's time to play a little Bob pun or Max pun. Skylar, your first pun is the life of the parsley burger.
Max.
Bob.
Yikes.
Your next pun is Sage Against the Machine.
That's so good. I think it's Bob's.
Max.
Okay, this is not going well.
Your next pun is Take a Bite Out of Lime burger.
Bob's.
Yes.
Oh, good God. Thank God.
And your final pun is Blue Oyster Mushrooms Cult burger.
Max.
Yes.
I don't even know what the pun was.
Blue Oyster Cult is a band.
Oh, okay. I was like, that sounds like a band Max would listen to, so.
I don't really listen to them. Know, one or two of their hits. That's about it. Yeah, you came through in the end there.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it.
I think you should feel good.
Okay. Are you ready for Skylar's Sides? The fun facts before the fun facts.
Dish it, girl.
I just have a little teeny baby one that I find very fascinating, and I'd like to discuss it a little bit with you. I'd love your thoughts on it.
I'm ready.
So before Bob's Burgers ever aired, Kristen Schaal said that she was concerned that audiences would not like Louise, that they would respond negatively to her as a character. Because let's be honest, she is a very devious character. Also, I think it's rare that we get to see female characters get to be not Dennis the Menaces, but breaking the rules more.
Sure.
So she was worried that the audience was going to have a bad response to her, which I find so fascinating because the fandom has completely fallen in love with her.
Yeah, I would say before I even knew Bob's Burgers that she was maybe, I guess it was between her and Tino, the most standout characters that I recognized before I watched the show.
Right. Because you've seen, before I even knew about the show, you know about the bunny ears, you know about this twerking girl. That's kind of what you get in pop culture if you don't watch the show.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she was wrong about that because Louise is such a great character. And I think part of part of the concern is valid when a show's just starting. And, obviously a show that's been on for so many years, the character has time for all sorts of growth and depth.
Yes.
Obviously, we get more from Louise than that she's just this devious, like you said, Dennis the Menace or Bart Simpson character.
What I was thinking, when people have an overwhelming like for something, I think it speaks to kind of, well, let me just say, I think it speaks to everyone's devious side inside them. I think we all have that. Like, we all have rule breakers and want to be the bravest in the group. Maybe we don't express that in our lives, or like, I think we all have a darker side. Actually, and I don't know if it's psychology, but we all have shadow parts. And so I think why was such a positive response to her is that women especially don't get to show that. And so we all get to embrace our devious, I smell fear on you, flames behind us side.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Louise, for shattering the glass ceiling.
Yeah. I'm not going to burn our house down. Don't worry.
Oh, are you talking about cooking that's going on later today? Oh, she just rolled her eyes.
Heaven forbid.
That eye roll was so loud, I heard it.
Is that a line from... Is that a line from Bob's Burgers?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might be. But heaven forbid I do some meal prepping for us.
That's true. I would starve without you. Should we get into this episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Skylar?
There might be a problem because I need to grab my phone to read the synopsis.
And Biscuit is passed out on your lap.
Yeah. Should we see if I can extract the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will...
Oh, it's actually more accessible than I thought.
And he didn't even move.
Wow.
His eyes didn't even open. Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis for Season 7, Episode 20, please?
The title is Mom Lies and Videotape. Welp, Bob totally botched filming the Mother's Day school performance for a sick Linda, which was actually okay because the kids weren't great, and now they can each tell Linda about their quote-unquote amazing performances. Louise tells a tale of a meanie who steals regular-size Rudy's sheriff badge. Gene sings his way through a story of a Greek god who wants to create a mom. And Tina does an Alien Freaky Friday mashup with Jocelyn playing the alien. It's the perfect Mother's Day gift.
This episode came out on May 7th, 2017. It was written by Dan Feibel and directed by Chris Song. What an episode. I love when the kids get to tell stories. I've said this before in these 3-part episodes that typically on shows I don't like that.
Right.
But Bob's nails it every time. It's so fun to listen to the kids' different versions of stories.
They do really nail it. And we've said this before. They nail their point of view and their personalities through their storytelling. I was trying to decide if I had to think black and white about it. Am I on the, oh my gosh, because I think they do one every year of these.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I haven't
a little fun
up.
fact for you. I heard that in an interview somewhere.
Okay.
If I had to jump on, I wait for these every year. I love them so much. They're my favorite episodes. Or here we are. We're at another storytelling episode. They're not my favorite. I think I have to jump on the latter. Yeah,
me too. No, I enjoy them. I love them. It's not my favorite. I prefer just a one story, A story, B story scenario. But I do like I said, because these aren't my favorite types of episodes on shows. But I do really enjoy the kids' different perspectives. I think they're very funny, and they always know exactly how these kids would tell stories and nail it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a love for it. It's just, I have probably a bigger love for holiday episodes or,
Yeah, or
things
stuff that actually happens in the world of Bob's Burgers and isn't stories they're telling or fiction,
Exactly. That being said, I am now seeing that a theme for me is I really love the in-between moments of the storytelling episodes. And this one was particularly sweet. Linda's at home sick.
I want to say that I love when characters are sick on this show and they get those little red nose, little red tip on their nose. It's so cute.
Like a little Rudolph. And we'll just go into it now. I did a audible Linda, aw, when we were watching today, because towards the end of the episode, it's the tiniest moment, but Bob comes and brings tea to Linda, and I just thought it was the sweetest moment.
True, yeah. It was like so subtle, but yeah, they're continuing the episode. I think it just come back from commercial or something, and yeah, Bob walks in carrying tea and just hands it to Linda as the kids are talking to her. It's
That's
so cute.
love. What were you going to say, though?
I was going to say, I just realized, so we're coming up on, I think there's 2 more episodes of season 7 after this. But season 7 started with a sick episode with Louise.
I did not even think about that. We're coming full circle.
Yeah, bookended with
I love it.
The Belchers getting sick.
Yeah, I feel like that's right. Like 2 rounds of getting sick every year.
Yeah, especially in families like this with kids, with small children.
Oh, can you imagine?
And where you're in small quarters.
Yeah.
And I love in this episode, they admit that, like, we're all getting sick.
Yeah. I love that Linda, everybody knows that she just has very loud sneezes and cannot control them. That just feels very true to Linda for me.
And tissues everywhere. It's such a sick thing. Like, it's like, we don't have the energy to just like to throw the tissues away every time we use them. It's just, they just pile up.
Yeah, of course.
Until someone who is feeling well enough can take them out and toss them.
I always toss my own. Have you ever picked up dirty tissues for me?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
For me, I think my signature look is saltine crumbs, just like all over me, and then a sleeve of saltine crackers somewhere near me.
Yeah, but that's not sick.
I think once I turned 30, it was like, no more crackers in bed, Skylar. We're an adult now.
Yeah, I think we had to shut that down when we moved in together.
Yes.
Although there was a little period where we ate dinner in bed.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Long story. Okay.
Okay.
I kind of enjoyed it. I'm very Gene in that way.
Yes.
What do you think of each kid's story? Who, if you had to rank the kids' stories, who would you put top? Who would you put?
Number 1 for me, and this is totally a genre thing, like my personal favorite genres. I'm going to say Louise ekes by to first place.
Me too, but I'm curious why you say so.
Jean's is second place because the songs are phenomenal and the comedy of the wires and them like floating and how funny Gene's positions are when he's floating from cloud to cloud are hysterical. And this idea that like we need mothers to snuggle us is just too much for me. I absolutely love it. And then I loved Tina's, but she's third place because it's just a genre thing. I was kind of getting bored because I don't love sci-fi stuff. So let me hear your ranking.
Louise, I just like that. Like I would see that play. Like I love the stage. Like
so cool.
The setting is so good, and I would see that Western on a stage. I would enjoy it on Broadway or something.
I just have to say that the casting was superb. So Rudy, regular size Rudy, sweet, sweetheart Rudy is the sheriff going up against Meanie. Is her name Jessica? Chloe
Barbash. So
Chloe.
Stephanie Beatrice is back as Chloe Barbash. This is her second appearance, that character.
She is such a good character. Like
Yeah.
I want to dislike her so bad. But then I don't know.
Her hair smells like cake.
Her hair smells like cake. She uses a whole bottle on it.
Yeah, and she's the main villain, which means Millie isn't the main villain, but she is. She's a little sidekick.
Yeah, so
villain.
fun.
And Rudy's inhaler gag is so good.
It's really funny. Louise is also spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, I would put Tina second.
Okay.
Because what I like about it, I'm not a big, I love horror movies and stuff, but I'm not a big Aliens fan. And I know that's like sacrilegious for some. But I love in plays when they have like a big puppet that people are controlling on stage.
I love
but they
that
kind of
too.
like blend in and you can't even see the people. And I think the animation in this is so well done. Like
It's brilliant.
yeah. It looks exactly like it would look in real life. And I really appreciate it. And of course, obviously, Jocelyn as a giant alien is incredible.
But then she's hysterical when she goes into Tina Weaver's body.
Yeah.
Jocelyn almost steals this entire episode.
I could say that in any episode that Jocelyn's in. But yes, True. I'm with you. Speaking of, you leaned over and said this to me, which I was surprised. I had a fun fact lined up. Sigourney Weaver. Tina's playing a Sigourney Weaver character. Tell me what you said to me when we were watching this.
I said, is this the second time Tina has played Sigourney Weaver?
And that is accurate. And it's the second time she's played her, quote unquote, on stage.
True. Because
the last time we saw her do a Sigourney Weaver character, she was playing Sigourney Weaver's role in Working Girl in Work Hard or Die Trying Girl, that episode.
Exactly.
Same hair almost, it feels like.
No, that's how I knew. Because, well, first of all, the Sigourney joke stands out so much in that episode because her blazer is so funny to me. Her, like, shoulder padded blazer and then the hair. Oh, you know what? In that episode, she has the Sigourney Weaver hair, but they have Tina's barrette in it, but I don't think they put Tina's barrette in it this time.
I don't think
I
so
would have
either.
loved that.
Yeah.
Is it weird that humans sneeze?
Oh, where is this coming from? Sure.
I think I shouldn't have had this extra cup of coffee because I feel like I'm disassociated from my body a little bit right now.
That seems healthy.
But isn't it weird that we just have to like blow air out of our noses sometimes?
Yeah, but we blow air out of other places too.
That's weird too.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you going to say?
Well, are you over caffeinated or high?
Okay, what I'm experiencing in my body right now is, you know, when you say a word over and over again and you just feel disoriented, like, is this a real word? What does it even mean anymore?
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Think maybe I put some like mushrooms in your coffee or something. No. Because I don't know what's happening over there. I was going to say Sigourney Weaver, one of the greatest names of all time.
You mean like name, like a star or like an actual name?
Both.
Okay.
Just like, what a name. Two, what a career. Like just think about these two characters that Tina's played, Working Girl and Aliens, that could not have be more different, those characters. And they were so close together. And when she shot those movies, just incredible. Anyway.
We love you, girl.
Let's see. I got some fun facts here that I have not mentioned yet. Let's talk about the title, Mom Lies and Videotape. Obviously, the title and the script cover that was illustrated for the cast and crew are references to Sex Lies and Videotape, which is a film by Steven Soderbergh in 1989, and it starred James Spader and Andie MacDowell. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've never seen it,
but I just remember when I went to film school, I think starting in 2009. I don't know why. It was just a big conversation. It was like cool to know it.
Well, probably because that was like maybe like Steven Soderbergh's heyday.
Oh. Well, what else has he done?
Like big time. I think he was like Ocean's 11. But he's done a bunch of
interesting.
Smaller movies up into that point. And he still does like smaller movies, but it's like when Steven Soderbergh made a movie,
Yeah. Also, I just like to point out, fun fact, Hulu gets the episode title wrong.
Yeah, that was something I read too, is that a lot of places on the internet add an S at the end of videotape. But it's not the case.
I think it's because lies is plural, so you feel like you want to... It is kind of a mind fuck.
Just one more fact here is the very first Mother's Day themed episode of Bob's Burgers.
I love that. think I said this last week, but Eat, Spray, Linda was supposed to be the first Mother's Day.
Exactly.
But they changed it to her birthday.
Yep.
I would like to see more Mother's Day. I think it's ripe for comedy.
Yeah, and or heartfelt with Bob.
Yeah.
Give us some more of those Bob and his mom stories.
We should talk about that this episode almost feels like a prequel to our beloved, what's the beloved Christmas episode everybody loves now?
Oh, Plight Before Christmas?
The Plight Before Christmas.
Sure, yeah.
The camcorder is introduced. Bob's inability to work it is introduced.
Gene's class and their xylophones.
Gene has grown musically. He was not great in that xylophone performance.
Yeah, he's had some seasons to grow, and we all know in The Play Before Christmas he was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Well, he's repeated 6th grade 17 million times.
Many years, yes. Yeah.
Many years of xylophone class.
Yes, lots of xylophone recitals for those kids. So they've really gotten a lot of work in.
Maybe the year before that, it was recorders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the fun facts I have for you. There's anything else you want to say about this episode, or should we get into these end credits?
Yes, there's one funny line that I really want to talk about.
Tell me.
I don't know if this is the first episode that we learn about Zeke's stepmom, but this throwaway line that Zeke says, I can't remember it. It might be because I'm hallucinating right now, but can you remember exactly what the line is?
He says something about, like, everyone's saying, like, to the moms out there, and he says to stepmoms too. Shout out to Cheryl, or like, love you, girl.
Yeah, she's like, shout out to Cheryl, love you, girl.
Yeah.
He said, love you, girl, to his stepmom, which I find so endearing. It also points to the fact that he has a good relationship with his stepmom. His whole family background and dynamic is very confusing to me, but I just love Zeke. Like, I need to know everything about his life.
Yeah.
Someone in a Facebook group recently, like a Bob's Burgers fan club Facebook group, literally wrote out every time Zeke's family life is ever mentioned. And it broke my brain. Like, I couldn't even read it. And someone was like, you are thinking way too hard into this. And I was like, no, like, I love that this person did this. It's just, it broke my brain. So I would love to ask Lauren, like, what's going on? Or have you just been throwing out lines and now you've created a web of a mess? And still, I want to know, why do you have a Southern accent and you're in New Jersey?
Hey, he could have moved.
I know. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Lauren, we have a lot of questions for you. So can we call you?
I feel like he'd be like, yeah.
Sure. Call me up. One more thing before we get into the end credits. A big thing. Uvula Watch is back, baby. We have a uvula. Linda screams in this episode, and we get a uvula. Linda's uvula.
A close-up. What is this, our 5th uvula of the show?
We have not been tracking uvulas as much as we were when they first started appearing, but I don't know that we've seen Linda's uvula yet, so I'm glad to get to see Linda's uvula.
I feel like we're talking about something dirty, and we're not.
I know. It's like that. It's the word uvula. It's
yeah.
Like, it's such a dirty-sounding word. Anyway, glad Uvula Watch is back. Uvula's moving forward.
Could you add some, like, breaking news music to this?
I will try my best.
Okay, I'm sorry to give you more work. I feel like it would be worth it, though.
Should we get into the end credits?
Let's do it.
Okay, the last moment is everyone's on the couch where they've been, so that's where we are, and Linda finds out that the school has actually sent a link to videos of this. After everything these kids have gone through and Bob has gone through, they didn't have to do that. And then we'll get to the end credits.
I love that she decides not to watch.
Hey, the school just sent a link to a recording of the performance.
Oh,
Should we watch it? You know what? I don't want to watch it. I already know I like your version better. Gotta say, this was a pretty great Mother's Day gift. What else you got me? Oh, what a feeling when we're dancing on the ceiling.
Good last moment.
Either Linda is feeling better or she's on NyQuil.
This is what I'm thinking. This end credit sequence is medicine head fantasy in Linda's.
That's right, because spoiler, Louise and Tina Weaver are in their costume. So
yeah, we should say we're in the generic kitchen sequence with Bob, Louise, and Tina prepping burgers and Linda in the service window. But like you said, yeah, Tina and Louise are in their costumes.
Which are not real.
Right.
So, NyQuil high.
NyQuil high, and we're going to see that it's more of a NyQuil high because it's going to get a little more loopy even as Linda is singing to Dancing on the Ceiling by Lionel Richie, which was referenced in the show. I think in
Oh.
Jean's play, but I can't remember now.
Oh, if you know, let us know. Because I was a little bit confused when we started watching these.
I think it was in Jean's, but I can't remember for sure.
But I mean, that would be my guess.
Yeah, Jean would be the one to reference. This
Oh,
song.
yeah. Oh, remember when we saw him at the vet?
Jean?
No,
I'm
Lionel
just kidding.
Richie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we did see Lionel Richie at the vet in LA once. That was funny.
It was like celebs. They're just like us.
Yeah,
They have to go to the emergency vet.
yeah. I think we're a little concerned about Biscuit at that point. To
Yeah.
get too excited seeing Lionel Richie, but it was a cool celebrity sighting.
Yeah.
In a weird place.
A very weird place.
Oh, what a feeling. We're dancing on the ceiling. What is happening here?
What starts happening that kind of like confirms that this is...
She starts walking up an imaginary wall, and then she's walking up the ceiling. She's upside down.
Yeah, there's nowhere for her to, even if she could stick to the side of the wall, there's no wall there where she is kind of turning
In the
sideways.
window.
Yes. So I'm going to say this is a medicine head dream.
100%. Although I could see them like cutting to the apartment, and Linda's like sleepwalking and doing this zombie sleepwalking dance, and they're like, "Oh, Mom's just leave her alone."
Something's going on, it's not quite clear.
She's officially on the ceiling.
Somebody turn on the light. We're gonna have a party.
Oh, air guitar.
starting tonight. Everyone's upside down. The blood's rushing to my head.
Definitely a medicine head dream.
I think one of my favorite parts is she's upside down and she picks up the plated burger
Yeah.
as if she's going to deliver it and starts carrying it. It's hysterical.
And then at the very end, Gene comes in from where he normally comes in, but he's on his cloud in his costume with the wires pulling him in. And yeah, those are the end credits.
Gene, a floating cloud really suits Gene.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He should always be in a floating cloud. Highlights, lowlights.
My only low light is it didn't just immediately click for me when we were watching the end credits, which is okay. Like it is okay to be like, wait, why is this? And like discover why it's so fun. I think it's wacky and weird, which I really like because that's so Bob's. What about you?
Yeah, I've said this so many times before, but I like when it's the generic kitchen sequence with these little references to the episode that, and everyone gets to kind of like partake.
Yeah.
So I like that all the kids are in their costumes while Linda's singing this song that was referenced in one of the stories. And I kind of like the idea of that it's all in her head because of these stories she just heard. And then she had to go take some medicine and go to sleep. I mean, obviously we're adding to that, or we're assuming that, but that's what I like to think.
I was going to say our theorizing made me like this so much more.
Yeah. And I also
Yeah.
like when one or more of the characters sing like hit songs and do their own version.
Yes.
So-
It's really, I love covers on this show, particularly if Teddy, Linda, or Bob are doing a cover. I'm going to be in heaven.
I agree. Anytime Bob can go into his head voice, I'm a little upset he didn't join in on this one, but that's
Yeah. Bob didn't get a thing this
fine.
time.
No, he didn't
He's
do much in
recovering.
the episode. Yeah, he had a rough go with the camera. I love the camera jokes, by the way, about it, the camera being so big and heavy, but the kids.
Yeah, when the kids do the gag of trying to pick up the heavy camera because it's so old, Max and I were just laughing hysterically. Also, John Roberts' voice performance, singing as Linda, is just really, really good.
It's great. Should we score them?
Yes, but I just have one pitch for you. I don't think it would be better than these end credits, but I just thought of a cute idea.
Hit me.
There's been so many references to the kids getting sick and Linda like sneezing on them. I thought it would be kind of cute if it's just like the kids all have colds now, like prepping burgers. But then I thought like, oh, that's really unsanitary. But I thought that would be funny, like a continuation.
Yeah, or it could have just been like them sitting on the couch all with red noses, sniffling.
And Linda's fine.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. And she's like trying to take care of all of them, and it's just like no music would be funny.
Yes, and Bob's
But-
sick too.
But these end credits are great, and I think we
Yes.
should score them.
Yeah, you go first.
We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's they're not perfect for me, but they're so much fun. They're great. I could watch them and dance to them, and I love the costumes and stuff. So I'm going to give them a 9 H's.
I'm going to give them an 8.5.
Okay.
It didn't have that personal, like, this is just going to stick in my head factor for me, but I loved them.
Fair enough.
All right.
Those are the end credits to Mom, Lies, and Videotape, not plural. Thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, go follow us on social media, Bob's Credits. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps us out so much. They mean a lot to us. We love seeing what y'all have to say about the show and how much you enjoy it. And again, it helps us out so much. Skylar, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I just wanted to say, if for some reason you didn't hear this on our social or you don't follow us on social, we do have Big Bob's news that it has been picked up for another 2 seasons. So that's going to be season 14 and 15. So we're not going anywhere. Bob's isn't going anywhere. What a time to be alive.
We're doing this podcast for the rest of our lives.
I guess so.
What else do you have to say?
Do you want to do one?
Stay sneezy.
Stay sneezy. Let's do it. You're like, for the love of God, say something, woman.